Steve King with you once again, and this time I'm going to talk about something that may sound a little different when we're talking about addictions, obsessions, compulsions, trauma, resolution, etc. But it is the subject of Rumpelstiltskin, Grace and Enlightenment, and it's excerpted from my book Rapid Recovery, Accelerated Information Processing and Healing. Gene Achterberg wrote that the principle of Rumpelstiltskin, which is named after the old fairy tale where magic appeared when the correct word was spoken. E. Fuller Torrey believes that the very act of naming is therapeutic, as it conveys a message that someone does actually understand, and that if it can be understood or even named, it can therefore be cured. By naming it, the patient feels relief and can face the outcome in a better state of calmness. Only those who hold positions of great respect in any culture can effectively do the naming, and they must hold a worldview in common with the client. And the diagnosis must be relevant to the worldview in order to be effective. This could be problematic in any cross-cultural attempt at psychotherapy, and probably also cross-cultural medicine. This principle is vital in any health setting, as clients look far and wide for acceptable diagnoses, even if it doesn't affect the treatment. Professor of Neurobiology and Anatomy at the University of Rochester, Dr. David Felton, stated that one factor contributing to a diminished immune response is whether or not an individual is in control of the situation. Bill Moyer said another factor is whether or not the individual feels lonely. A sense of having personal control can be aided prior to the introduction of any accelerated information processing technique or energy medicine by having a client use inner dialogue, internally providing present-day information and affirmation. I have stated that vibration plus healthy, loving intent provides a fertile ground for healing. Compassion has been called the barometer of grace. Michael Talbot stated that, whereas alcohol and drugs have been stated to be called cheap grace. When we question what we or others may have done or whether or not it was right or wrong, we may need to pose a couple of questions. Was the intent or the intention honourable? Was the motivation love? On the subject of grace, Scott Peck wrote, "The paradox that we both choose grace and are chosen by grace is the essence of the phenomenon of serendipity," which is also obviously meaningful coincidence, providence, synchronicity. Serendipity being defined as a gift of finding valuable or agreeable things not sought for. Let's take an example. Buddha found enlightenment only when he stopped seeking for it, when he let it come to him. On the other hand, who can doubt that enlightenment came to him precisely because he had devoted at least 16 years of his life to seeking it, 16 years in preparation. He had to both seek for it and not seek for it. Thank you. I'm Steve King.